All right, Lester B. Pearson, we are so excited to be having another oral storyteller for our oral storytelling series. I'd like to introduce to you guys Randy Morin, who is a fluent Cree speaker from Big River First Nation. He's taught hundreds of students. I'm just getting one more. From elementary school to university. Right now, he's a faculty member at the University of Saskatchewan's Department of Indigenous Studies. Randy is passionate advocate for the Cree language and Indigenous culture and a father of three. All right, welcome to Lester B. Pearson, Randy.
Well, thanks for having me, Carrie. Good morning. I hope you're staying warm. Welcome, students. It's an honor to be here. I'll do my best.
All right, it's all yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't see anybody. All I can see is Carrie, but I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me. This morning I woke up a little bit late. My alarm didn't go off as planned. I set it for 7:30, but it was set for 7 p.m. So I look sleepy. So I'm washing my face furiously, brushing my teeth and combing my hair. But I'm awake now. I got my green tea here. You know, I already smudged. This is my smudge here, my morning smudge. I say a little prayer. I'd like to thank Creator for another day. Every time I wake up, I'm awake. I say, thank you, Creator. I am alive. I am alive. So today, I've been invited by your school to tell some stories. All right. So I'll get right into it. I'll get right into it because that's what I'm here for. And I love telling stories. So I grew up telling stories. My grandma, she passed away last year. She was 107. And she shared with me many stories. My other grandma, she's still alive today. She's 92 years old. She still shares many stories. So where I come from, everyone's a storyteller, right? I grew up since kindergarten, even before kindergarten, telling stories. We didn't have internet. We didn't have smartphones. We had the power of the imagination. So I grew up on a reserve, 2.5 hours north of here. I grew up surrounded by family and friends, speaking the language, hearing the stories, right? I had a beautiful childhood. We built forts in the summertime. We go swimming. We would play in the fields. We'd go biking. You know, we did lots of fun stuff. We had a lot of pets, a lot of, farm animals. Yeah, so we did all kinds of stuff. A lot of funny stuff happened, But, so that's where I come from. I come from a community up north. It's very beautiful. I still go back every weekend to go skidooing and go hunting, So now I'm teaching my young son. He's 12 years old, how to hunt, and so he's already a hunter. And so he has his own skidoo and his own quad. So we go quadding and skidooing up north. And he is very loved by his grandparents, right? Love is powerful. Love is very, very powerful, right? So I love all my children. I express love to them on a daily basis. All right. So long time ago, long time ago, this world was beautiful. It was green. And the animals and the humans could talk to each other. They could communicate with each other. Creator made this so. But with humans, they started to get a little bit more selfish, little bit more greedy, slowly. They were created equal. No one's supposed to be higher than the other, right? Animals, the birds, the plants, everything in creation is supposed to be equal. Humans are not supposed to be, they shouldn't have dominion over everything. They should be equal. Well, They started to assert a little bit more control over the animals. They started to slowly tell them what to do, to the point where they were starting to abuse the animals and, make them their servants, right? And so there's this man that lived in these 4 times in history. See, and this is people we believe we're living in the fourth age, right? This world has been cleansed 3 times already, right? It's been cleansed 3 times. So we're in anyway, we'll get into that. But so Wisaki-chak is our hero. He is our trickster. He's a very spiritual man with powers and abilities, Wisaki-chak. And Creator, that was Creator's right-hand person. So Creator would tell Wisaki-chak, you have to tell the humans to understand their role and responsibilities. They're overstepping the boundaries I put in place. You have to go tell them not to fight with the animals. And the humans were starting to fight with each other. They were starting to argue with each other, the humans, right? They started little fractions with each other. Finally, one group would separate, the other group would separate. They were just like, there's a lot of war, a lot of fighting. This greatly displeased the Creator. So the Creator would tell Wisaki-chak, you gotta warn the people, they must not do it. Otherwise, I gotta clean the earth, right? And Wisaki-chak did not want the earth to be clean because it was a beautiful place. So he'd go back, he would travel the lands, telling the people, look, you guys, you gotta show love, right? See my hat here? My love says Sagi, the wind. That's love. You gotta express Sagi, the wind with each other, with the animals, with the land. Don't cut down trees. Don't take stuff from the land. We already have enough. Well, Creator very kind, Creator very patient, right? 4 warnings. No, 3 warnings. Creator would tell Wisaki-chak, look, this is the 3rd warning. You gotta go tell the people, like, I'm getting really impatient with them now, these humans. Wisaki-chak would plead, please hold off, let me do my best. We'll go tell the people, look, we're gonna get, the earth's gonna get cleaned here. Like, Creator's not messing around, you gotta believe me. I know. People would settle down. Well, they'd come back up, right? Well, that was it. Creator told Wisaki-chak, well, it's gonna happen now. I'm sorry. People didn't listen. The egos, human ego was the downfall, right? All humans have this thing called an ego. If you don't know what it is, Google search ego, EGO. Well, Creator made it rain, and it rained so fast, such fast that raindrops were like buckets, like the barrels, right? One raindrop was like the size of a barrel. You know how big a barrel is? It's like 100 gallons. That's one raindrop. And so this water was just torrential, and it rose up so fast. No one had time. Nobody knew when it was coming because it just happened in seconds. And so Wisaki-chak got caught up in this rain too himself. And he was frantically running around because the waters were rising. Before he knew it, the water was up to his neck and it was just like rising, right? And so he saw a dead tree, and he just barely grabbed onto that tree, and the tree rose up and floated up, this one tree, and everything, and the storm that happened was so furious, lightning and wind and like a hurricane pretty much, just tossing these waves. And all of a sudden, Wisakitsak saw something come just fearlessly trying to make it to the tree. And he grabbed it, and it was a little muskrat, He put it in, and all of a sudden he saw something come swimming up again. It was an otter, barely made it to the tree, just clung on for dear life. The other one was a beaver, barely hung on, and the last one was a loon. Oh, the loon had a heck of a time trying to get on that tree. So Wisakitsak grabbed it and held on to the loon. Well, the storm finally stopped, and they're floating, and the sky's cleared up, sun is shining, and Wisakitsak, they're all exhausted, and he wakes up, they all wake up, it's beautiful, right? But there's nothing, there's no land, it's just water, it's an ocean, right? Where they were once standing is now an ocean. Wisakitsak starts to cry. Boy, Wisakitsak cried for the loss of what a beautiful world it was due to the human ego, due to not listening. Well, he hears a voice. It's Creator. Creator tells him, Wisakitsak, go get some dirt and you make the world new again. Okay? Wisakitsak's like, how am I going to do that? Well, figure it out. You got a brain. You have the solutions all around you. You just got to figure it out. Okay? That's a big lesson there, students. Whenever you're stuck, there is always a solution. You just got to look around. There always is a solution. I've been stuck in many situations. All I had to do was take a deep breath and look around, and the solution would come to me. Number one thing, don't panic, right? Don't panic, right? Anyway, so Wisakitsak looks around. He doesn't see nothing. Nothing here that could help me. Well, a voice spoke out. It was the beaver, a misk. Wisakitsak, I would like the honor of diving down to go get dirt for you. I would like that honor. Wisakitsak says, okay, great. If you can do that, I will make you beautiful, a beautiful beaver house, and you'll have a beautiful wife. You'll have many children. All right. So Beaver took a deep breath, as deep as he could take. And he dove down and he started swimming. And he's swimming. It's dark. And he's like, it's cold. He's like, oh my goodness, it's getting darker and colder. But he kept going. But you know what? He started to like, oh my goodness, my lungs are gonna burst here. Where's this land? Something swam. He's like, what was that? He kept swimming, something else. Oh my goodness, there's something down here. That's it, I'm done. None of this for me. He swam back up. He broke the surface. Oh my goodness. And Wisakitsak, gets him onto the tree. Beaver, did you do it? Bring me the dirt, quickly. Beaver looked at him sheepishly. I'm sorry, I failed. I'm sorry. The story is he tried 4 times, right? 4 times Beaver tried, but he just couldn't do it. The significance of number 4 is very important in these stories, right? 4. Well, hung his head in shame. The next one, loon, magua. Wisakitsak, can I try? Beaver's weak. I am strong and brave. I'm a mighty swimmer. Starts bragging, right? Really the ego, bragging, right? Hey, he's weak, I'm strong, I'm better. He's, Wisakitsak, okay, if you could do it, I'll make you this beautiful bird and, all this stuff, right? All these promises. So Loon takes a mighty deep breath and dives down and he starts to swim, Same thing, it's cold, it's dark, it's scary, and whew, something just swam by him. What was that? Oh my goodness, kept swimming. something else swam by. Yeah, there's something down here. That's it. This is suicide. I'm not doing this. I'd rather starve up there and die of thirst to get eaten down here. Swims back up to the surface, breaks the surface. And Waisaki, like, Magua. Yeah. So 4 times Magua tried, right? 4 times, right? But he failed. Ultimately, Magua failed. So Magua hung, her head in shame. It's always he characters, but I'm going to change it to her head. Okay. So she hung her head in shame, right? So there's Beaver and there's Loon. They're, a little bit ashamed, right? Because they're bragging, right? Well, guess who spoke up next? Yes, you're right. It was the otter, Nikik. Wisagi-chan, these two are weak. Let me try. I can do it. I can for sure do it. These two are weak. Wisagi-chan, okay, you are our absolute last hope. You have to do it. Otherwise, we're gonna starve to death. Right? We're gonna starve to death. Don't you worry. I'll get it done. So Nikik dove down, deep breath, swimming. Again, it's dark, it's cold, swimming. Something so, whoa, what was that? That was scary. Something else, this is it. I'm done. I'd rather starve up there, swims up there, breaks the surface. Uesaki's like, yes, you did it. And Otter's like, Uesaki-chan, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. What? You were our absolute last hope, and you failed, and you were bragging. I know, I'm sorry. I thought I could do it. I believed I could do it. So now Uesaki-chan starting to argue with these 3 animals, right? And as they're arguing, there's a little voice. Can I try? Can I try? Excuse me. Hello? I'm over here. And all of a sudden, Uesagi-chan's like, just yelling, they're just like, life and death, right? And all of a sudden, Uesagi, shh, what's that noise? And they look, and there's little Tusk. He's holding his little hat like this. Can I try, please? His little hat. That really pitiful look from Shrek? That cat? That real Shrek look? The cat there. Anyway, that's the kind of look Muskrat had. And Uesagi-chan said, are you crazy? What makes you think you can do it? I mean, look at these mighty swimmers. They failed, and they're bigger and stronger than you. What makes you think you can do it? Little Muskrat says, because I believe I can do it. In my heart, I believe I can do it. Uesagi-chan says, I can't let you. I can't let you fail. Please, I'll do anything. All right, well, go ahead. Make a fool out of yourself and try it. Go ahead. We're going to be laughing at you, but go ahead. Try. Okay. So little Wachas takes a mighty deep breath and plop. Her splash wasn't very big. It was just a little, plop. She starts to swim. And it's getting cold. It's getting dark. Something swims by her. It's like, what was that? What was that? She keeps swimming. Okay. Her lungs are starting to burn up. She keeps swimming. Meanwhile, on the raft, on the tree, Uesagi-chan and the animals are trying to figure out another way to get dirt. They're brainstorming. They're trying to work around, they're just coming up with all these silly solutions, and somebody on the boat on a tree said, you know what? If we wait long enough, maybe the waters will go down. Like real silly stuff, right? And they're arguing, they're debating. And finally, somebody says, "Hey, where's Watusk? Where's the muskrat? Watusk?" Finally, "Yeah, where is Watusk? She should have been back a long time ago. She shouldn't have been gone this long." And they start searching and they start calling, nothing. You know, they finally had to, oh, I think she died. She gave up her life. He's like mad at himself. He's like, why did I let her do this? I should have not let her do this. He was just really sad and down on himself. Finally, somebody says, look, there she is. She just popped out. And they see little Watusk floating over there, and she's floating away. Quickly, break some branches. They're breaking branches and they paddle. They're paddling this tree. They finally get to little Watusk, and Wisakitsak takes a branch. He lifts Watusk out, puts little Watusk on the tree, on the trunk there. And he hears, and she's barely breathing. So he starts doing CPR on her, mouth to mouth, I'm just kidding. He didn't do that. He smelled dirt. And then in her little tiny little paw, she had dirt, right? She hit the ground, and before she fainted, she just had a quick grab, and then she lost consciousness, right? That's when she knew she was going to die, but she kept on. She grabbed it, and that was it. So she floated up. So Wisakitsak took that dirt, and in that dirt lie the plants and the bones of everything that's in this world today. So Wisakitsak took that dirt and he started blowing on it. And it started to grow. And it grew. And he kept blowing. It kept blowing and it kept bigger. It kept getting bigger and bigger. And then the first animal to come out of this new land was the wolf, Mahigan. And so Wisakitsak told Mahigan, I need you to go run around and tell me if this earth is big enough. So the wolf, Mahigan, will go for a run, come back. It's not big enough. You got to make it bigger. Big, The wolf, third time he ran, came back, after many days, it's still kind of not big enough, make it, Well, fourth day, wolf never came back, right? So then Wisakitsak knew the earth was big enough. And that is how the earth was created again. That's the Cree creation story. That's the first story.
Oh, thank you so much. Classes, does anyone have any connections or comments, things that they'd like to thank Randy for that story? I was thinking, Randy, while I was listening, that you must have had a lot of practice to become such an great oral storyteller, because you're not, reading it from a book like most people do. You're doing it quite traditionally. So
Yeah.
how much practice did that take for you to get this accomplished?
Like I said, I was telling stories since I could walk, right? Like I'd go to school and my classmates would just, oh, Randy's here. If I missed school, oh, my class, oh, Randy, you didn't come to school. I was the class entertainer. I was an actor. I was writing little stories. I was drawing, and I was just a real entertainer. So I grew up just telling anything I could tell, really. So I just, and then I would hear other people talk, but they leave out the details, they just talk real, like from point A to point B, but they don't realize the story has many details that make it a great story, right? Like I could tell that story. Yeah, Wisakitsak, Earth got flooded in a tree, and that's it. He saved the world. What's the point of telling that? That's you want the details, right? So that's what I think makes a great story is those small details. Yeah. So I
Very
wrote two children's books. I got a third book and it's going to be published next month right across Canada. It's from a major publisher. This publisher loved this third book of mine that he said, Randy, we're going to get you to write your fourth book. Right after this one, you start on your fourth book. And it's like, wow, that's cool.
Congratulations. What's
Thank
the story about?
This third book is called Morning Songs Grateful Garden. And it's all about being grateful and understanding where our food comes from, right? A lot of times, a lot of young people, they won't eat their vegetables, but they don't realize the nutritional value of the vegetables. Like our body needs that nutrition. So in this book, say for example, the carrots would tell little morning song, this little girl, we provide you with vitamin K, which helps with your eyes and, which helps with your, various organs, right? So little children reading this from an early age, they'll start to appreciate value of food, right? It's not just all pop and chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We've got some comments here.
Okay, I'm ready.
So Lucas in Mrs. Broussard's class said that story was really cool. And Connor in the same class says that you are funny.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love being positive and funny, right? But it takes work. You got to smudge, you got to pray, you got to let go of that ego, and you should actually be able to make fun of yourself, right? Because people call me many names. It's like, hey, that's okay. Call me the name. I can handle it. But you got to learn to let that stuff go, right? When people tease you, make fun of you, don't hold on to it because it's like holding on to a coal of hot fire. You will get hurt. Let it go. Forgive. I know it's tough to do, but.
Damien in Miss Jacobson's class wonders how you remember all the details.
I could just visualize it in my mind. It's like watching a movie, right? You can see it happening. And it just brings joy to tell it, right? And sometimes I forget a lot of details, right? Like when I tell a story, sometimes something maybe I'll forget something, maybe I'll add something, but the main root of the story remains the same, right? As long as you don't change too much, right? You just, try to make it as entertaining as possible. Yeah.
Well, Jana in Miss Broussard's class says, good job. And Mr. Newton's grade 5-6 class said they loved hearing all the animal names in Cree. And Miss Brinkman's class said that we love the story, many great parts. We like the muskrat and the wolf part.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I got more stories if you need more stories.
We would love more stories. Are you going to give us another traditional one, or are you going to do one of your contemporary ones, one of your books?
You know what? I sold out of all my books. When family come visit me, they take my books. Hey, can you sign this book? So I give away a lot of my books. Like I just give them away right from the trunk of my car, And but I'm very fortunate that a lot of bookstores carry my books. So they're available at the U of S bookstore. I believe they're in McNally, and Turning the Tide bookstore, right? So, and the libraries purchased a lot of my books. Like all the main libraries in Saskatoon, they're in there, right? But they're also in like right across Canada. So I'm fortunate, I never made any money. There's no money, but hey, I leave a legacy. Somebody will read my book, whatever, 20, 30 years from now. Hey, this is a pretty cool story, right? So, hey.
Oh, that's so awesome. I know when you were at Lester B. Pearson 2 years ago, I bought one of your books. So we do have one copy of one of your books in the school.
Nice, absolutely. Now I'll tell you another traditional story. This one is again how the fox turned orange or red or whatever. What color is a fox? Is it yellow or red or orange?
I think it's like that orangey red.
Yeah, orangey red, eh? So
Mhm.
this is the story of how the fox turned that color, right? Because a lot of our stories, they're like, you know, how did the fox turn orange? You know, so they're kind of educational in that way, right? So here we go. This is the story. A long time ago, Wisaki Chak is walking along the lake, very hungry, very hungry. He's always scheming, he's always planning because this Wisaki Chak is a trickster. He sees a bunch of ducks and the geese in the middle of the lake. He's like, wow, oof, they look scrumptious, they look delicious. Ooh, I gotta figure it out. Aha, I figured it out how to trick them. So Wisaki-chan takes this blanket, like a hide blanket, and he puts some moss in it, slings it over his shoulder, and he's walking and he's whistling. He's just like walking like he has a purpose. Like he's real excited for something. So he's walking, really making a show of it. And the geese and the ducks, they see him. They're like, hey, look at Wisaki-chan. Oh, don't go near him. He's a trickster. He'll probably find a way to trick us. And hey, what is he carrying? I can't see that far. Let's swim closer. So they swim closer. They start following Wisaki-chan along the lake. And Wisaki-chan's real whistling, he's just happy. Oh, Wisaki-chan looks like something's going on. Let's ask him. Wisaki-chan, what's going on? What are you doing? Wisaki-chan, never mind. I got something in my bag here that's very important. And the ducks, what is it? I can't tell you. It's just for me only. What? Please tell us. No, I can't. Get away. This is for me only. My eyes, my ears only. Creator gave me this just this morning. And the ducks, wow, Creator gave you something? Yes, it's mine. Nobody else's but mine. In fact, I'm going to go and open it right now because I can't wait to see what's in here. And the ducks, what? Please, we have to know what's in there. No, no, you can't. Get out of here. And boy, the ducks, they just come, they come right to the shore now. Right, Misaki-chan, please, we'll do anything, anything. Misaki-chan, okay, well, in that case, what's in here it's a song. And a song, that's boring. No, this is a song directly from Creator. Once you hear the song, your whole world changes, right? Yeah, a song, I don't know. By some Creator. Okay, yeah, maybe. He's like, okay, I'm gonna build a little teepee and I'm gonna go in a teepee because this song is not meant to be sung out here. It's only meant to be sung inside a teepee. And you can't see. So the geese are like, okay, what do we do? Well, he so quickly build a teepee. And Wisaki-chan comes out and he tells all the ducks, okay, I want you all to line up. Line up. Form a line. You come in one at a time and you cover your eyes like this when you come in, okay? No peeking, okay? And when you come in, you're going to hear the song and you start dancing clockwise, okay? Clockwise in a teepee, okay? And then you come in one at a time, no peeking, okay? Here we go. So he goes in, Wisaki-chan goes in, and he starts singing, Waka ka te noa, waka ka te noa. And well, where's the ducks? He sticks his head. You guys come on in here. The song's already started. What's wrong with you guys? These ducks are real apprehensive, eh? Oh, and there's a mud hen. There's a mud hen in there. And you know, mud hens, they used to have long, straight legs, right? Mud hens. Now they have real crooked legs. You know, mud hens, they have real crooked back legs. If you know what a mud hen is, they used to have long, straight legs. They were really proud of those legs, those mud hens. Anyway, so they start coming in, and we sack, you know, make sure you close your eyes. You sing waka ga, and a duck would come in, doink, hits it on the head, and quickly throws it in a corner. And he sticks his head. Okay, next one can come in. Next one can come in. So the goose would come in, you know, waka ga, doink, right? So he's tricking them. This mud hen, she is at the back. She's like, you know, something's not right here. Something smells fishy. I'm going to peek. Okay, mud hen's going to peek. So it's her turn now. A whole bunch of ducks went in. None of them came out. And she's like, something's not right here. So she goes in and she peeks, right? Can you see me peeking? And she's dancing. As soon as she gets in there, Wisaki-ta's just about going to hit her head. And she's like, ah, wake up. He's tricked us again. Wake up, one skag, wake up. Oh, we fell for it. Man, all the ducks, they wake up because they were just knocked out. They weren't killed. They just start flying out the door. And Wisaki-ta's, what are you guys doing? The song's not done. He's like trying to capture them. And this mud hen is just screaming, wake up! And Wisaki-ta, ooh, this mud hen ruined everything. This mud hen ruined my meal. And before Wisaki-ta could get to that mud hen, Wisaki-ta managed to grab two ducks and wring their necks. So he managed to get two ducks anyway, right? But he could have had more. So he's chasing that mud hen, trying to hit it, you know, get over here, get out, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm going to get you, you know. Finally, he just steps, you know, Wisaki-ta steps, squishes the mud duck, squishes it right down. To this day, the mud duck has real crooked legs, but she managed to crawl out of the teepee and fly away. Right? Wisaki-ta, he's just huffing and puffing. He's like, oh boy, I could have had more ducks, but hey, I got two ducks. Ooh, I'm gonna have a good meal here, you know. Ooh. So he's plucking the ducks, makes a fire, right? Makes a fire, and he puts those ducks into the fire, right? Into the fire, takes the ducks, and you know, oh, they're gonna be so, you know, nice slow fire, right? And somebody was watching Wisaki-ta do this from the background. Guess who he was? Yes, the fox. The fox had beautiful, beautiful fur. Beautiful, like silver, like real, you know, I don't know what color it was, but it was like beautiful fur. So this fox was so beautiful. The most beautiful fur of all the animals this fox had. Well, he sees Wisaki-ta put those ducks in there. So fox comes out like with a hurt back leg, like really like injured. Pretending he's real injured. And he tells Wisaki-ta, Wisaki-ta, I'm so hungry. Can I have some of your ducks? Wisaki-ta, no way. I earned these ducks. And fox said, would you want to like race for them? Like, you know, I could race you around the lake, right? And whoever gets here first wins the ducks. And Wisaki-ta, that doesn't seem fair. Your leg seems like it's injured. And fox, his name is Mahisi, Mahisi says, no, it's okay. I'm going to try anyway. I know you're going to beat me. But I have to try. And so Wisaki-ta says, you know what? Just to make it fair, I'm going to tie rocks around my legs so they weigh me down. So it's kind of hard to run. Okay? Just to make it fair. All right, let's do it. Let's race. So Wisaki-ta goes one way, fox goes the other way. As soon as Wisakitak's out of the sight, Fox runs back to the ducks and just starts eating those ducks as fast as Fox could eat them. He's like, "Rah, rah, rah." You know, he's looking around. He's Wisakitak, no. He's finally eats up all the ducks except for their little legs, the duck legs, right? You know, the duck legs. So he sticks those back into the fire, and then Fox takes off. Eventually, Wisakitak, you could just with those rocks, you know, a lot of noise comes barreling down. He's like, yes, I beat Fox. That'll show him. That'll show him to try to challenge me. So he sits down, he takes those, he starts, you know, he's like, what? What the heck? Oh no, I burnt up all the ducks. They're burnt to nothing. Just their little legs, you know, just these bony things here. Oh, and as he's looking down, he sees Fox tracks. He's like, what is this? What are these tracks? He starts trailing those tracks, trails him over the hill into this grassy area. And there he sees Fox snoring away with a big belly. And he knew Fox tricked him. Fox ate his ducks. Oh, this got Wisakitak. I'm gonna fix Fox here. So he started putting a bunch of wood around Fox, a bunch of firewood and, you know, tinder, and he lights it up. And the fire just rose up so fast. And Fox wakes up. He's like, ah! And he's just a wall of fire. He doesn't know what to do. Now the fire is coming towards him. He's like, well, I gotta do it. Otherwise, I'm gonna burn up. He jumps to the fire, and his beautiful fur got burnt to a orangey red color. And to this day, that is why the fox has orange red fur. So there, that's your second story.
Yeah, and the water hen with its short, crooked legs.
Yes, there you go. That's the water hen too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that one before. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Mr. Newton's class would like to know, when did you start writing books?
You know, I have a little girl. Her name is Kisei. She's 8 years old. You know, I would read her children's books since she was a little baby girl. I'd go to the library and I'd just pick out just a big stack of children's books. And at night, I would read her those books, you know. And I wouldn't read the story. I just make up my own story based on the pictures, right? Because she can't read, you know, she's like, you know, 1 year old, 2 years old. So I just make up a story, right? You know, as I'm flipping the pages, you know, putting her to bed, right? And now she writes so many. She's got like these filled with stories. She's 8. She's going to be a writer. She is going to be a writer. And I started writing probably, you know, like just, you know, poetry and, you know, like it's good to start writing stuff down. Use your imagination, start writing stuff down, okay? Yeah, that's cool. And so I started writing about 10 years ago, like really started to write more stuff, right? But now, right, now I just type stuff, right? It's good, but it's better to actually write, like with a pen. Because everyone does this now, you know, everything's on your phone notes, you know, like you have a notes thing on your phone, you know, so I type, you know. Anyway, I started writing about 10 years ago. And I was inspired by David Bouchard. I met the guy. He's my Facebook friend. He really likes what I do, right? David Bouchard, famous Canadian author. If you don't know who he is, go to your library and take out David Bouchard books. This guy, amazing author, and he inspired me. And he told me, Randy, start writing books. Yeah, there you have it.
Very cool. So I hear like you had a mentor someone inspired you and believed in you. And also you used the pictures in other books to kind of inspire some of your creative juices, and then just start doing it, collecting your ideas. Cool.
Yeah, these young students pick out any book in the library, children's book, and don't read what it says. You use the pictures to create your own story. It's actually really cool to do that, right? Instead of reading somebody else, you make your own. Anyway, sorry, I thought.
Yeah, well, and then they can practice their own oral storytelling too. And
absolutely,
great idea. All right, let's see. We had some comments here. The kindergarten class said, "Thank you for your stories this morning. Kindergarten would love to read your new Grateful Garden book later this spring as we learn about local gardens and community gardens."
Yeah, it should be out end of March. Yeah.
Amar in Miss Brinkman's class liked the part in the story when the animals were peeking and then was like, ah.
Yeah. Good thing that mud hen peaked. Otherwise,
there'd be no more story.
Yeah, there'd be no more ducks and geese.
Miss Souza said, "I love how you teach the Cree language in your oral storytelling. Great job. The grades 7 and 8 class are totally engaged."
Nice. That's awesome to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Newton's class wants to know, do you have a favorite story, what it is and why?
Yes, I have a story that's really cool, and it was told to me by my 107-year-old grandma. And it's a story of the hide scraping child. Hide scraping child, okay? Basically, this child is a gift from Creator to come and help the people, right? The people that, and so, but this is like a spiritual child that, could shape shift, could transform and all this stuff, right? That's my favorite story.
Well, I kind of want to hear more now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have one more story for us, Randy, or we tapped you all out? Or?
Oh, no, I got stories for days. Yeah, I got stories for days. Yeah, yeah. So, I can tell you a story. This was told to me by my ex-father-in-law, right? And this my ex-father-in-law is an amazing storyteller, right? And I used to bring him to Nest Peak Music Festival just to come tell stories to all the audience, right? Anyway, he recorded this one elder, Earth Elder, and like this elder would come visit my father-in-law in the summer months, and this elder had all these stories, right? And so my ex-father-in-law told him, please write a book on these. These are going to be forgotten if you should somehow, not be here with us any longer. And that elder did. That elder actually recorded those stories. I have that book somewhere. Hold on 1 second, 1 minute. I'll go pick this out here. This book is so hard to find. Earth Elder Stories, but it is an absolute gem. Absolute gem. If you can find this book on Amazon or whatever, pick it up, okay? I picked this up at, Westgate Bookstore. So it was written in 1988. And you know what? Shortly after this elder wrote this, shortly after, this elder died. So that elder left a legacy, right? Left a legacy. So now these are just absolutely beautiful stories. So I can read you a story. I'll not read, I'll just tell it, right? Rather than reading from it from here. How much time we got, Carrie?
I think like give or take 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
We
Yeah,
can
because
go, we can go less if you need.
oh, no, 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 that's good. The longer the better. So, because, sometimes it's like watching a movie, right? You can watch the trailer version or you can watch the full movie. I'll give you the full movie version. Okay.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
all right, here we go. So, there was this orphan boy who, his parents, somehow, some way, they were no longer with this orphan boy. So the village raised this boy. The village raised this boy. And this boy somehow, some way became really good friends with the chief's daughter. Chief's daughter. They grew up playing, right? And they became best friends and they grew up together, right? Eventually they fell in love. They fell in love. Okay. Now back in the day, what is the elder's name? Alexander Wolf. Alexander Wolf. Okay. So they fell in love. But orphan boy and the chief's daughter could never get married because back in the day, if you wanted to marry somebody, if you're a man, you had to offer your girlfriend's dad something of value, right? In that case, horses. Horses were the most valuable thing. An orphan boy didn't have a horse, so there's no horses, right? Well, in the fall, there was an announcement by the Braves, these warriors. They were going to go on a horse raiding mission up in the west in the mountain area, right? Where there's many nations over there, right? Like this whole country is filled with different nations, right? We have about 70 different tribes. They're all different, right? Cree is just one. Blackfoot is another, like this, there's over 70, right? So anyway, we're not just one, everyone's different. Anyway, so orphan boy heard the announcement. Boy, is he happy. This is his opportunity to go to get a horse. So chief's daughter worked all winter making him moccasins. He's making his arrows. He's going for his runs, he's working out, he's getting himself ready, a lot of ceremony, a lot of prayer, everyone's getting ready for this spring raid. Springtime comes, huge celebration. And a number of braves stepped forward to do the raid. Orphan boy was right in there. They kind of laughed at him too, eh? Because he's kind of like, an outcast, right? People made fun of orphan boy, But like I said, people tease you and you just gotta let it go, right? Orphan boy would tease him right back, right? He's like, I know I'm an orphan, so what? Whatever. Eh? Anyway, so they start running. Couple braves look back. Guess what? They were told to go back. They should not have looked back. They said, we're not going back that way. We're going this way. You guys go back. Anyway, orphan boy didn't look back. Orphan boy, determined. So they run for days and days of running, right? Eventually, the mountains could be seen. So now they were in enemy territory. So now they had to be very careful. If they're caught, they're toast, right? So at night is when they would, sneak around. Well, they came over this big hill, vast village. Teepees as far as you could see. Horses on either side. Huge corrals of horses on either side. So the lead warrior, I need a volunteer to go and scout it out. Orphan boy, I'll volunteer. So orphan boy goes. In the morning, comes back to report. Yes. The best route is over here. These are the best horses to take. But there's one horse. I want that horse. It's in the middle of the village. And it's this beautiful stallion. It's like it's brown. It's just beautiful. It's tall. I'm assuming it's the chief's personal horse. I want that horse. That's the horse I want, right? This is Orphan Boy. And the warriors, are you crazy? That's suicide. All right, have it your way. So they wait. They're waiting for a stormy night. No storms coming. Days and days of waiting. Hot. Finally, somebody says, you know what? We have to pray for it to rain. So they pray. They light their sweet grass and their pipes, and the big storm happens. So the braves go first. Orphan Boy waits. The braves take the horses and they're gone. Now it's Orphan Boy. He's all alone. He sneaks into camp. He goes up to the horse, and the horse has a string, cuts the string, walking it out slowly through the teepees. Orphan Boy gets caught. The whole village is like an anthill, just awake instantly. Warriors come out with their spears and their bows. Orphan Boy jumps on the horse and they're shooting at him. They're, man, he's just dodging arrows and spears, and they're, he's just riding to the village, and all this chaos is happening. Finally, an arrow hits him. A spear went right through his leg. It's a mortal hit. It's gonna kill him. It's a fatal hit. So all the village braves jump on their horses and they start chasing Orphan Boy, but he's got the fastest horse. He quickly leaves him behind, right? And they stop the chase. They go back. So Orphan Boy manages to catch up with his other braves. And as soon as he catches up to them, he falls off his horse because he's got this big spear, right? And they were going to pull it out, but they're like, Orphan Boy, you're not going to make it back with us. You're going to die. Orphan Boy knows I know. So I want you to give this horse to the chief's daughter. I sacrificed, right? For love. Romeo and Juliet story here. Just kidding. And so he tells him, build me a little wigwam. Give me your food, your water, your arrows. I'll try somehow, some way to survive this. So they quickly build him something, stock him full of water, food, arrows, and they leave him. They go. They're gone. He's there all alone. So meanwhile, back at the Orphan Boy's village, the chief's daughter, they're anxious. These guys have been gone for months, a long time, maybe a couple months. They finally see all the braves returning with a whole bunch of horses. Oh, the whole village is excited. They start coming into the village, and, the cries of joy, oh, they all made it back, and the chief's daughter is so like, yes, but she doesn't see Orphan Boy. And the lead warrior goes, one of us fell in battle. One of us died over there. It was an honorable death. Honorable, just really. Oh, so the chief's daughter knew it was Orphan Boy. She goes to her teepee. She starts to cry. And she takes her hair. See this hair? Indigenous people, our hair is spiritual to us. It's spiritual, right? I could easily have short hair and be like everyone else. I could. But there's great honor in having long hair. It's an extension of your spirit, and it's your antenna to the world. There's all these theories, right? But I just love having long hair. I gotta wash it and take care of it. Anyway, she's gonna start cutting her hair, right? She's gonna start cutting her hair. Because that's what we do. When we lose somebody we love, we cut our hair, right? It's a sign of mourning, right? Well, just when she's going to cut her hair, chief's daughter, are you there? Go away. I'm mourning here. No, come out. Got a gift for you. She goes outside, and there's the big, beautiful horse. And this lead warrior, yeah, orphan boy died. And she's like, where did he die? And he's like, well, he died, by this mountain, by this river. And she was just real sad. And finally, the lead, you know what? He may still be alive. He may still be alive, because he got hit with a spear. And she's like, what? You guys left him there and he was still alive? What's wrong with you guys? Well, if we would have, held us down, we had to leave him. Oh man, and she went quickly into her teepee and she grabbed up anything she could, right? And she pretended to be sleeping. She made a little dummy on her bed. She covered it up so it looked like she was sleeping, right? And she told the lead warrior, please leave me here for 4 days, right? I'm going to mourn here in silence. Don't nobody bug me for 4 days, right? And he left. So she snuck out of teepee and she ran. She ran right away straight to the mountains, right? And she ran for many days. So she eventually saw the mountains. She saw the river, the trees. She knew where to go. So she saw the little wigwam hidden, and she's approaching it. And all of a sudden, an arrow missed her. Another arrow missed her. She's like, whoa, it's me, orphan boy, it's me. It's the chief's daughter. And he's like, what? What are you doing here? I came to save you. She said, no, please don't look at me. I'm really pitiful. I'm just about dead, And she looks in a wigwam, and there he is. All the meat's gone, all the water's gone, and his leg is so badly infected, right? She quickly got to work dressing his wound and gathering up firewood and, fishing. And she stayed there all winter in a wigwam, nursing orphan boy, right? Well, come springtime, orphan boy had a vision, something come to him in his dream. And he said, get ready. Tomorrow, grandfather is going to take us home. And she's like, grandfather? You don't have a grandfather. He's like, yes, I do. He came to me in a dream. He's going to come get us tomorrow morning. So she just thought he was delirious, he's having a nightmare. Next morning, she gets up, she opens her door, and she just screams in terror. There's a huge grizzly bear there, huge. Did you know back in the day, the prairies, we had grizzly bears in the prairies? They're extinct now. Yes, we had prairie grizzlies. We used to have prairie wolves. These were called dire wolves. They were much bigger than the wolves. They're extinct now. We used to have prairie cougars, huge cougars. They're extinct too, right? We used to have them. They used to follow these great herds of buffalo, right? If you were banished from the village, well, you fell victim to these three. These three were deadly creatures, right? Deadly back in the day, right? Anyway, so she saw this huge grizzly bear. She jumps in a wigwam. She says, don't worry, that's grandfather. He come to take us home. She's like, are you crazy? Anyway, so he got up, opened a wigwam, and grandfather bear, right? So they pack up everything, and he gets onto the bear, and the bear starts walking. And the orphan's daughter would run beside the bear. So at night, the bear would leave. And in the morning, the bear would come back, crawl on the, orphan boy crawl and then go back to the village. Well, back in the village, the chief and his wife, they lost their daughter. They were so depressed because, when she took off, nobody bothered to check on her for 4 days. And when they finally did, they found her dummy, like her, and they scoured the land looking for their daughter, and finally they figured out she must have went, and she probably got killed by the enemies, right? So they were just really, really, really sad. Well, one day there's a a stir. There's a ruckus in a village. There's a great big grizzly coming. All the warriors, get ready, you know. All the young men, you know, with their spears, they go riding out to meet this this threat. And they were so blown away that riding this huge grizzly bear was orphan boy, still alive, and the chief's daughter. So the bear walks right into the village. Orphan boy gets off. The bear walks away. The chief was so overcome with joy, he took off his headdress. You know, we all the chiefs would have these headdresses. They were very, very sacred headdresses. So he took off his headdress and placed it on Orphan Boy's head. You are now the chief. You can marry my daughter. And that's the story of the Orphan Boy and Grandfather Bear in a nutshell.
Awesome, thank you. Well, we're almost done here. I'll ask the classes if they have any more connections or comments that they'd like to make before we say our thank you and goodbye to Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I always love having you come and tell us your stories, Randy. Like I just sat here for like a solid hour and a half, just totally enthralled.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think everyone said thank you for the very vivid stories. Thank you.
Mhm.
Really enjoyed the stories.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. I love our Panthers. They're such good audiences and learners.
Mm-hmm.
We're building the future here at Lester V. Pearson. All right, so Mr. Bradley, I'll have you come and do our Panther cheer, please, and thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, thanks, Randy. Certainly appreciate you joining us. And just as Carrie said, like Ms. Blatchford, I guess, love to hear your stories. They're so impactful. And I love the message that you send. I'm looking at you right now with what you have on your shirt, that positive impact. And you certainly make that with us. And that's certainly something that we want to provide the opportunity for our students to build on every day that they're here. So thank you again from our school community. We always finish off any type of assembly, and now we're doing virtual assemblies, with a Panther cheer. So if you could help us do that, and we're gonna scream and our Panther cheer as loud as we can, so hopefully you can hear us at home, not only through the computer, but just being so loud. So all we need you to do is we need you to count down or count up 1, 2, 3, and then at 3, our Panthers will do a cheer. So if I could get all the teachers to unmute themselves so that Randy can hear us. So go ahead and unmute. I think we're starting to go there.
Okay.
Perfect. So Randy, you can counter up. Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
Shut up.
Awesome, Panthers.
Awesome.
So that's the best way we can send you off, Randy. And
Thank you.
look forward to seeing you again. You're certainly a person that all of our students talk about after you tell us your story. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been an honor. Yeah.
I forgot it.
All right, bye, Randy. Bye, Panthers.
Bye-bye. Thank you.